Welcome to the podcast Lobotomy World. I'm coming on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my podcast, Lobotomy World. If you're listening to this, then you can't see the coat that I'm wearing. I've decided to be a bit silly at the start of the podcast and put on a large silver reflective puffer jacket that I bought for £15 in a charity shop. That's a good bargain, isn't it? I'm not putting this on for any particular thematic reason. It's not an Easter egg like Taylor Swift would have. In fact, it's a bit hot, so I'm going to take it off now. Whew, there we go. I'll put it down there. Oh, I just wanted to start the show in a kind of quirky way. You know, got to keep people interested. Got to keep you all interested. Otherwise, you'll lose interest and you'll all unsubscribe. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It's Thursday while I'm recording this, that's not hump day. It's the evening of Thursday, so that's sort of like that's the hump day of in between the two hump days. If Wednesday's the hump day, and if we accept that Friday is like, yay, it's the end of the week, it's quitting time, then where we are now is somewhere in equidistant in between those two things. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a sticker on my microphone. Yes, that's right. It's the Lobotomy World stickers. They're here. They arrived. They arrived a couple of weeks ago, but I've been quite busy with stuff, so I haven't been able to send them off yet. But anyway, I am going to be sending them off. Here's the proof. Where's the proof? Here's the proof that they're there. Look, here they are. Look how many stickers there are. They say Lobotomy World. I think I ordered 1,000 of them, which is more than I need. So if you're going to be receiving the newsletter that is exclusive for Patreons and members, the physical newsletter that's coming out in the post, then you'll be getting that very, very soon. And I'll throw in a few extra stickers just for fun, because I'm not going to shift 1,000 of them. Maybe that could be like a good guerrilla marketing campaign whereby I give you extra stickers and then you stick them in extra places. Anyway, let's get straight on with the show. I've got so much to talk about today. It's going to absolutely... It's going to blow your flipping mind how much I've got to talk about. So first things first, we're going to be talking about Big Brother. There is a new series of Big Brother at the moment. I don't know who owns Big Brother anymore. I have a feeling it could be Channel 5. It's either Channel 5 or ITV. But it used to be Channel 4, which in the UK is sort of like, you know, it's the edgy channel. It's the one where it's like, hey, this ain't your grandma's TV, okay? I know you like the BBC. Oh, the BBC, the big British broadcasting Bumblebee Corporation, you know, where they have Strictly Come Dancing and the Great British Bake Off, or as they call it in America, the Great British Cake Show, or whatever they call it. It's strange when America does that, when they're like, you know, they change the name of something because they're like, well, we don't know what a bake-off is. We know what a standoff is. We know what a shoot-off is. Anyway, Big Brother, I believe I was talking about. Yeah, Big Brother, you know what it is. It's a game show. It's like loads of strangers go into a house. They're cut off from the world. They have to go in this house and live there, and they get given challenges. There's been like a million seasons of it, you know. Some were great. Some of the contestants were great, you know. Makosi, Nadia, and others. And then some seasons were more forgettable. Eugene, Shout out to Eugene. But then a lot of the seasons were quite forgettable. Generally, Big Brother's good when it has drama. You know, when there's conflicting personalities in the house. They don't get on. They argue. And for a time, I was a big fan of Big Brother. I really enjoyed it. I've definitely watched a few seasons all the way through. When it first came out, it was like 24 hours a day. There was a channel dedicated that, and like it would be censored, or they would cut out things if they were a bit too not safe for television. But for the most part, you had the choice. You could watch it all in real time if you wanted to. You could tune in at 4 a.m, watch them asleep. It's a bit creepy, but you could do it. I did do it. I did it all the time. I would stand with my head next to the TV screen and I'd go, I can see you, Eugene. No one remembers Eugene. Nasty Nick, I see you. Not so nasty when you're asleep, are you? It was good. It's great TV, but you know, over the years, it's changed hands more times than a flipping 2-bob coin. And, you know, it's not quite as fun and edgy as it used to be, I guess. It used to be like they were all having sex and like smearing their poo all over the place. It was great TV. It was like bloody 120 Days of Sodom in there. Sallow. But nowadays it's all very nice, you know, it's like, oh, let's just like love each other. And that's great because the world needs a little bit more of that. That being said, this year's Big Brother, I haven't been watching it religiously, but I have been catching all of the controversies, particularly obviously the transgender-based controversies and the gay controversies. Because, you know, I have an alert set up on my phone that's like, is there any transgender news happening? Let me know. And every day it's like popping up, trans people are terrorists, trans people suck, trans people are ugly. And I'm like, oh, I better turn this off. But I've still caught up with it. And there is a trans housemate, a trans man, actually. Yes, that's right. But that's a change, isn't it? Because usually, you know, Nadia was the big famous trans housemate. She won Big Brother back in the day. She won, Nadia. She's a hero to us. She's definitely a hero to me. I really rate her quite big. If you've got the time, you go look up Nadia Big Brother UK. You'll see probably some great compilations. You'll also see a lesser evolved time period, you could say, in which the way that the discourse was handled, the way that she was spoken about in the house and outside of the house was less than ideal. However, what's interesting about things nowadays is that, you know, the people in the house, they're supposed to be like a microcosm of the British public, I guess. It's supposed to be a lot of diversity. It's supposed to be like, you know, a hub for conversations, or at least drama. And there's a guy in there, well, he was in there, his name was George. He's not the trans man. There's a trans man in there. I can't remember his name, unfortunately. I'm sure I'll learn it as we go through this. But this George character, who I think looks a little bit like the Mad Hatter from the very bad Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland Disney films, i.e. Johnny Depp. It's funny, right? Because, you know, I think there's this thing where it's like, even though Johnny Depp's like awful, like bad guy who I don't like, he still somehow has this like reputation of being hot still. He's not. Have you seen him? Like, I know he wants to be British, but like Depp, like you need to like fix your teeth a little bit, you know? You can pretend to be British while having, you know, not literal rotting teeth. I think he's gross and not a very good actor, personally. That's just my opinion. But still, I bet if someone said to you, like, if you was a guy, like, and you said to you, like, oh, you look a bit like Johnny Depp, I bet most guys would be like, oh, do I? But you could say this about this guy, George, as long as you caveat it by being like, no, but you only look like Johnny Depp in the Mad Hatter role. I'll show you him. One sec. I'll show you him. George from Big Brother. Let me just change my camera here. Okay, let me show you George from Big Brother. This guy, look. Doesn't he look a lot like the Johnny Depp Mad Hatter? He's got like crazy ginger hair. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But anyway, he's recently just been kicked out of the Big Brother house because he has been saying some inappropriate things and generally not getting on, rubbing people the wrong way. He seems to me, I don't want to speak out of turn, but he seems to be like a big old dumbass Tory right-wing freak who thinks he knows everything but really seems to be a little bit dumb, really. And I don't think they've given like a proper reason yet for why he's getting kicked out, because when someone gets kicked out of the house as opposed to being eliminated by the other contestants, it's like a big deal, it's like, oh, you must have said something really not on. Early reports suggest it was something anti-Semitic, but we don't know because Big Brother have not shown the footage yet, and I don't know if they will, but I'm sure they'll have to put out a statement. Anyway, he's got into a few kerfuffles with a few different housemates, as has another contestant. But what I'll do first is I think I'll just show you his introduction video to the house, because, they all have an introduction video where they're like if I did one, it would be like this. It'd be like, hey, my name's Jen. I've got a successful podcast and a bad attitude. I'm nice a lot of the time, but actually, if you get on my wrong side, I won't be afraid to stab you with a fork. Let's watch his.
Hello, my name is George. I'm 23 and I live in Essex. My pronouns are he, him.
Did you see? Okay, so straight off the bat, did you see that? Firstly, he said he lives in Essex. So I don't know how much you know about British geography, but to a lot of us, that would already be a big red flag. Now, I'm sure there are nice people who live in Essex, and I'm sure there are nice people who are from Essex. That being said, it would be a red flag if you heard that in conversation. Also, you can tell, I think, it's not just through hindsight, but you can tell that Big Brother, the producers, whoever, they have asked George to state his pronouns for the video. And you can hear in the way in which he delivers his pronouns, she, her, by the way, that's me, that he's not really on board with it. Now listen, I can relate to an extent. I personally think that the drive, primarily by cisgender straight society, to normalise this pronouns announcing thing is, well, it can be an overstep. I've certainly been in situations in which I don't feel it's appropriate to state my pronouns because it should be obvious, and actually it gets to a point where it's like, if I have to state them, then I'm sort of, societally not really fitting in, because everyone else in this room, their pronouns are obvious, and I guess I'm the only one this is being done for. There's a nuanced conversation to be had with this, but I guess if you're going on like a big TV show, you just got to do what they ask you to do, but let's watch that again because he didn't seem keen on it. Also, I don't know what's with that tie that he's wearing. It looks like what it looks like is this tie, it's got like a doily on it. It's got like a furry doiliness to it. And it looks like the replacement mop heads that you get for those special mops that squirt water. We've got one of them. I never use it. My boyfriend mops. I'm a feminist.
23 and I live in Essex. My pronouns are he, him.
He's like, my pronouns are he, him. Like, he couldn't have said that with any less enthusiasm. Listen.
And I live in Essex. My pronouns are he, him. I am white British. I am 5'11" tall and I am an athletic build in body frame. My hair is red, it's curly and just above shoulder length. My eye colour is blue. I do not have any piercings or tattoos.
What is this? What is this? Oh, I see what this is. Oh, I'm sorry. I've gotten so confused. I thought this was like their introductory video, as in like, I'm going to be coming into the house, but this is actually something different. This is an audio described thing for visually impaired people. So they have some idea of like, they can imagine like what he looks like. I was just thinking, like, why is this so bland? Why is this so, like, matter-of-fact and to the point? And that's the reason, because I was going to criticize him for, like, having a really boring introduction, but he's literally just, you know, describing via audio what his physical characteristics are. So that's, you know, that's my bad. I'm sorry. But it's still useful. This will still give you a good idea of who he is. And if I do have any listeners who are visually impaired, or any viewers who are visually impaired, this is for you, just so you know what George kind of looks like.
And I'm clean shaven. I do not buy any fast fashion clothes because I don't think it's great for the consumer, nor is it any good for the planet. And actually, I think it has a very negative impact on everything.
Oh, okay, so there is a little bit of opinion in here. Okay, that's good. I wasn't 100% wrong. So he doesn't buy fast fashion, which, in my opinion, listen, we all buy a little bit of fast fashion. It's like you can be principled and you can say, I don't really like fast fashion. But at the same time, making that a whole part of your personality, to me, that insinuates that you're probably quite well off, or that you want to be, like you're like aspirational, like wealthy. It's all right for some, you know. Some of us don't have much of a choice.
Today I'm wearing a cream suit, that's a cream jacket, a white shirt, cream trousers and brown leather shoes. My tie is very out there, should we say, very fluffy, and it's even got a little pearl on it. And as for jewellery, I've got a silver watch on. My favourite physical feature about myself has got to be my hair. It's how people recognise me, and it sets me apart from most people.
It sets you apart from most people, except for the people who are ginger, and there's a lot of ginger people, and this is no hatred to ginger people. I love ginger people. Okay, my comments about his appearance earlier were not so much based in his gingerness; they were based in his face, not because he's in any way, you know, ugly. It's just like he's annoying, and I guess, like, based on what I know about him now, it's like it's fair game. But my dad actually is ginger. And that's true. You can research that. My dad is ginger. Well, you can't research it. This is the first time I've probably ever mentioned it. I was adopted, so I didn't get the ginger gene. I didn't get any. Got no genes. I've no idea about my medical history. You know. But that's okay. My dad's ginger. Well, he was ginger. I mean, he has no hair now. I don't know I don't know what the etiquette is. Like, if you lose your hair, if you go bald, can you still say you're ginger? Or is it just like, you're like culturally ginger?
I would describe my personality as very competitive. I'm always up for a discussion. I like talking to people from all walks of life, and somewhat fun-loving.
Somewhat fun-loving. I only like a little bit of fun. Never trust somebody who says in their personality that they're competitive. Like, as a blanket statement, isn't like all the time. They're going to be exhausting. You know, it's going to be like, God, can we just like not argue for 2 minutes? Can we not have this huge conversation, please? This debate. Anyway, you get the idea. That's George, okay? And I'm just giving you this because it's, you know, a little bit of, what would you call it? Context for what we're going to be talking about. So let's see what's next. We've got, I guess we'll look at the article, the Pink News article. You can always rely on Pink News for a bit of pink news. It should be called Ginger News. Big Brother housemate George removed from house due to unacceptable language and behaviour. Oh no. It's not ideal, is it? Big Brother housemate George has been removed. Yeah, I read that bit. In a statement, a Big Brother spokesperson confirmed that the parish councillor, okay, he's a parish councillor, will no longer be part of the ITV reality show. Okay, that answers that question. It's owned by ITV now. Following repeated use of unacceptable language and behaviour, George has been removed from the Big Brother house with immediate effect and will no longer participate in the programme, the statement reads. The 23-year-old, God, 23 is young, isn't it? And listen, I'm not saying like, oh, he's just misguided. He's an adult. But 23 is like really, really young. The 23-year-old, who had proved divisive for his opinions on so-called gender ideology, homelessness and addiction. Yeah, he's got that very like Tory position. There was a clip doing the rounds of him being like, homeless people, they just do drugs or whatever. It's like, shut up, man. Received a formal warning from Big Brother earlier this week over his treatment of queer housemate Sam. So this isn't the trans housemate that I was telling you about. This is somebody else. This is Sam. I don't know much about Sam. I know that Sam looks iconic. I love Sam's nails. I don't know how Sam identifies. I don't know what pronouns Sam uses. But what I do know is that what happened is in this video, they were doing like a spin the bottle game, and George's task, his dare, or whatever, was to list things about particular housemates that he didn't like about them. So, on the one hand, it's Big Brother kind of pushing the needle and kind of just like being like, hee, what can we get away with? What are they going to say? We're going to cause a little bit of upset in the house. Like, don't let Big Brother trick you into thinking that they care about the emotional well-being of the people in the house. They are looking for drama. They are looking for conflict. They're looking for arguments. I guess, though, they are not looking to be perceived themselves as accepting of racism, homophobia, transphobia, or anti-Semitism, or any of that. Anyway, as he was describing what he dislikes about Sam, this George character, he basically insinuated he didn't like his campness, and he did a kind of a voice and a limp wrist, and it affected Sam, who goes on to talk about how it kind of brought them back into their school days and about how like it kind of upset them. I'll let you watch.
The whole George situation. Basically, I think it all just came to a bit of a head about like the kind of impression that he did of me or whatever. It was like, it was him doing it, mocking me as if I have some kind of like disability or something, which is just like rude anyway. And then all the boys kind of laughing. It just kind of felt like I was back in school, I think. And it just kind of brought all that back in that moment. I think it's just that feeling of like, when you're a little bit different and people, I think...
Just to say, I'm just pausing here just to say that like, now, I know that like reactions to this kind of thing is always going to be like, grow up. You went on a show, like, oh, you can't, queer people, you can't take a little bit of debate or whatever. The thing you have to realise is these people are living together, and they've been living together for a little while now, and they're like supposed to be cohabiting, they're supposed to be like getting on or whatever. And I really empathise with Sam, because it is really difficult when you find yourself in a situation where you're in a group and you feel like you're an adult and you've moved on and you've gotten past all this like difficulty and you've outgrown everybody and you've left school and you're like, you feel resilient and you've built up a shield and a skin for this. And sometimes things can like bring you right back emotionally, psychologically, and you'll get upset, These people are living together, you're going to get upset, and you may forget that you're on television, especially if you're in Big Brother. I mean, they're hidden cameras. You're not supposed to necessarily feel like you're being on TV all the time. They know they're on TV, but it's like, you can't keep up the, oh, I'm on a game show thing all the time. They want you to be vulnerable, and you're going to be vulnerable. And I mean, I'll say this about a lot of these housemates. They're way more mature than I would be. I mean, they all seem to talk to each other and apologise and forgive. And it's like, I wouldn't do any of that. if someone was making fun of me or being transphobic to me or whatever in the Big Brother house, I'd burn it down. Like 100%. Like I would put the cookers up to full. I would, I don't know, make a bonfire in the garden, and I would burn it all down, and I would lock the doors, and I'd go full carry, and I would just let them all die. Even the ones that I liked, even the ones who stuck up for me. I'd lock the patio doors, and I would burn the whole thing down. And I'd feel sad about the ones that I liked, but at the same time, I'd be making a point. On live TV, I'd be making a very salient statement.
I think it's okay to like take the piss out of you and point fingers and stuff. And everyone thinks it's okay to join and laugh at it. It just makes you feel really singled out and like a bit isolated. And I know I've got friends in here, but I'm still that person that like went through all that stuff, It's just so annoying because like I've really overcome a lot to become how I am. And I don't want this comments like this to seep in and have an effect on me like that again. So I do think it's important I talk to George and just try to explain that.
Yeah, and I don't have the clip, but I watched the clip of them talking to George, and, I don't feel like George really took it in. I think George just wanted to I don't think George wanted to hurt Sam's feelings, but I think George did not give a shit, really. It was kind of like, well, it was that kind of thing, like, I'm sorry you feel that way, I'm sorry that, you took it that way. It's that kind of gaslighty sort of thing. Anyway, so it says he was reprimanded for his actions. He apologised. George was reportedly issued several other warnings regarding unacceptable language that was not aired. Now, this is the thing. I think if you're going to go on Big Brother, and I think if you're going to be, because there's a cash prize on Big Brother usually, quite a big cash prize. If you're going to be competing for that cash prize, I want to see all of you. In terms of your personality, I'm not saying I want to see you in like the toilet or whatever. Like, they don't have cameras in there, that's fine. I'm happy with that. But what I mean is I want to see your whole personality, and I don't want you censored. I think that's the risk. That's the game, You should be at risk. If you say something crazy, if you say something fucked up in the Big Brother house, it should be aired to the entire nation. And then you should be judged accordingly forever in whatever post office you enter. You should be hissed at. Hiss. George. George was the most nominated housemate in this week's nominations, popular boy, and was therefore up for eviction on Friday's episode. Big Brother has confirmed that the eviction will go ahead, blah, blah, blah. George's removal, blah, blah, blah. During another game of Spin the Bottle in yesterday's episode, Caroline, so this woman here on the left is Caroline. She looks like a bit of fun, doesn't she? I bet she likes the Pinot Grigio. Was heard referring to Zayla. Okay, so Zayla is the trans man. This is Zayla on the right-hand side. Seems like a lovely guy. Seems like a really nice guy. Just, again, for context, wouldn't normally bring this up. It's not important, but it is true. I think Zayla undoubtedly passes. I think Zayla is like a pretty like well-passing trans man. Like you just legitimately like wouldn't know. Like, Zayla is a man, and a hot one at that. Caroline was heard referring to Zayla with she pronouns and dubbing the personal trainer a girl because he doesn't have a willy. Caroline was given a formal warning due to her language. Now, look at her. Look at Caroline. You'd think from that get-up that she is, ready for Pride. I just like going out with the girlies to Pride. Obviously we don't talk to any of the queers, but we do love gay men. And we just love to have a laugh and get drunk and then make fools of ourselves by trying to pull down their trousers and go, you can be turned. I bet I could turn you. That's the energy she gives me. I don't trust her. Anyway, after initial upset from Zayla and condemnations towards Caroline from her fellow housemates, which is good, the pair spoke for the first time in scenes to air on tonight's episode. So I'm going to show you Caroline. Let's get a bit of an idea of who Caroline is. I've got her little introductory video somewhere around here. And then we'll get into the juice. What the hell's it? I don't want it open there. I want it open properly. There we go.
Hi, my name's Caroline Monk, better known as Monkey. I'm 56 years old and I live in Yorkshire at the moment.
My name's Caroline Monk, better known as Monkey. That's what they call me, a bit quirky.
My pronouns are she, her.
Again, listen to the lack of enthusiasm with that. The way she said it was like she wasn't even sure of her own pronouns. And not only was she not sure what pronouns were, it's almost like she had never even conceived of the fact that she had them. She was like, my pronouns are she, her. Is that right? Unless it's that kind of like performative idiocy. Like, I don't even know what that is.
My pronouns are she, her. I'm white, British. I'm 5'6.5", and I'm sort of like not thin but not fat, in the middle. I've got a straight white.
I'm not thin, I'm not fat, I'm in the middle. Sort of in the middle. I'm normal, actually, yeah, not too thin, not too fat.
Bob with a little fringe. My eye colour is chocolate brown. I always wear glasses, I wear varifocals. Sometimes they're black, sometimes they're pink, sometimes they're blue. I like a lot of colour. I've got 3 piercings in both ears. I've got 4 tattoos. My general style is a little bit out there. I love glam rock, so I wear cowboy hats, sequin jackets, a lot of denim, a lot of leather.
No one loves glam rock. Okay? No one loves glam rock. Your dad might like glam rock, but no one loves glam rock. Glam rock is dead. It's never coming back. I think, even David Bowie didn't like glam rock, probably, when he died. He'd moved on from glam rock a long time ago. Basically, if you like glam rock, what you're saying is that you like Gary Glitter and that you support him and everything he does, in my opinion.
My favourite feature about myself is probably my smile.
To be fair to her, she's got good teeth. Those are very, very good teeth. I don't know if they're real. I don't know if they're hers. I don't know if they're veneers. I don't know. And I don't want to know. I wouldn't judge. Whether they're real or not, they're good teeth. They're very, very clean, and they are very straight. She's got movie star teeth. I'll give her that.
My personality is I'm a lot of fun, a bit too much fun. I'm known to be very cheeky, very naughty, and do a lot of practical jokes and stuff. But I'm also very sensitive, very caring, very loving. I think I'm a nice person.
Everybody thinks they're a nice person. I think I'm a nice person, and I'm objectively not a nice person. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm not. I know I can be a horrible little rat. I can be mean. I'm spiteful, jealous. I'm not a nice person sometimes. Most of the time, probably. But even I think I'm one. I delude myself. But we know that Caroline's not so nice. We'll see that in a minute. Alright, let's go to that. I mean, look, I've met so many women like Caroline. Specifically cis women like Caroline. She's definitely an archetype. I'll give her that.
If I do go...
Okay, so let's go to Caroline first. Let's get this drama out of the way. Here we go. Caroline's questions cause upset. Let's watch it.
The housemates are...
Stop opening it in there. There we go.
The housemates are playing a game in the living area.
Zila, can I ask a question?
Okay.
If you had a cock, what would you do with it?
I mean, the thing is, like, you go into the house and these people bond, and maybe they've never met a trans person before. And, sometimes they have good intentions. Sometimes they want to know, the curiosity gets the better of them. They don't really know what is appropriate, what isn't appropriate. But she's bold, isn't she? She's very bold.
Helicopter.
Would you go like that?
Yeah.
Would you? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Next spin.
If you could shag anyone in this house.
El escándalo.
Only. We're on a desert island. There's one person left. You might be able to make babies to get a new civilization.
What the hell?
Who would you shag?
So it has to be a guy.
She's pansexual.
Is she pansexual? You like pans?
Maybe just ask her.
Whenever anyone makes that joke, you're pansexual, you like having sex with pans, do you? It's just clear that they don't know anything about music production, right? Because when I hear the word pan, I'm not thinking about Peter Pan, I'm not thinking about cooking pans, I'm thinking about, is this in stereo, is this in mono, can we go left, can we go right, you know, spatial. I'm a bit of an audiophile sometimes. Don't quote that out of place.
Who she's most attracted
You
to.
like pants. Zila.
She's a girl. No, you're not.
So there it was. So she said, who would you sleep with on a desert island or whatever? And this girl said, Zila, the trans man, the very clearly, visually male trans man. And her first instant reaction was, she's a girl. Now, you know, a lot of like right-wing types, a lot of like anti-trans people, they talk about how trans people are delusional. You know, they'll talk about how we don't embrace reality, things like that. But this is an example of somebody who is so irrational, so caught up in their own ideology, someone who's so, I'm not going to use the word bigoted because we don't know that, but certainly is so arrogant that like they, despite what their eyes are seeing, despite what is in front of her, her brain cannot fathom it. Now there's some people that would probably think like, oh yeah, that's just like biological fact. But I just don't understand people like this. It's like, I mean, firstly, it's not, but also like, I just don't buy into this thing that like a lot of cis people don't understand trans issues so much, because it's like, well, no, you're older, you've been alive a lot longer. Trans people have been around a long time. You must have heard of Christine Jorgensen. You must have heard of the Danish girl. You know, it's like, can we stop playing ignorance with this? You must have heard of Chaz Bono. It's like, read a book, like learn about it. And even if you don't know anything about the specific details of it, you must have a certain level of human curiosity. And you must have a certain level of empathy to understand that, like, at the very least, you know what being trans is. Like, if I meet someone and they know that I'm trans, right? You know that I am a trans woman. You know that, like, what that entails. You can have your opinions on that, I don't care, but that's sort of like part of it. That like if somebody met me and they just like flat out was just like, you're a man. And I've had that, you know, I've had people like that, but it's like, to me, that doesn't communicate that you want to be my friend. That doesn't communicate to me that you like me. That communicates to me that like you hate me and that you don't respect me at all. So yeah, don't trust this woman.
So it has to be a guy.
She's pansexual.
Is she pansexual? You like pans?
Maybe just ask her who she's most attracted to.
You like pants.
Zila.
She's a girl. No, you're not.
Oh, Carolina.
But you haven't got a willy, have you?
Oh no, let's stop this game.
Oh, is that really bad?
Yeah, that's...
I think there's like a line.
Is that really bad? Did I do something wrong? Oh, I didn't even think. Is that bad? Are you not allowed to say that? Are you not supposed to say that? Am I just really dumb? I don't buy it. I don't buy that you're that dumb. I just think that you're nasty. You're a nasty piece of work. That's what we call a nasty piece of work. The pretension and the sort of illusion of like, I'm nice, I'm fun-loving, I'm just a nice person, everyone likes me. But actually, it's like, no, you're actually a deeply unpleasant person.
That's probably a lie.
Talking about...
No, that's probably... I think...
I'm so sorry, Z. Is that bad? That was bad.
If we're going to do, like, heteronormative and...
Oh, no, I'm dead now. Is that bad?
Yeah.
Why?
Because...
It wasn't meant that she had a drink.
No, of course
Should we
it
carry
wasn't,
on?
but...
He wasn't...
Oh, George steps in. She didn't mean it, she's had a drink. You're allowed to be a bit transphobic when you've had a drink. Who among us hasn't called somebody a tranny when they've had a bit of a drink?
Like that.
No, we don't mean it in that way, but Zila's a man, so...
So Zila is incredibly open and giving with this. And again, to a level that I cannot relate to. Like, God bless him. But, like, I would have, in this situation here, I would have smashed that bottle that they were spinning. And I would have lunged for Caroline. And then I would have broken down that light there, that fitting to, again, cause a small fire. And I would set the whole house aflame. And I would start just slashing. I would grab the nearest knife, the nearest bottle. I would just start slashing everyone. In Minecraft, not really.
I know you're a man, big man. Oh, God, shut up, Caroline. See, I didn't mean it like that.
I know, I didn't mean it.
No, you do think that, don't you?
No, you're good.
Oh, my God, I didn't mean it like that.
The thing is, right, it's like these people, they can't how can you not understand that, like, what you're doing there is you're invalidating someone's entire life? Zila lives as a man. Zila has lived as a man for years. You don't know Zila's story. You don't know what Zila's been through. And then you have the audacity to just be like, you are this thing. Like, who made this freak, like, the arbiter of who's who? I mean, look at her. She's got a fucking shower cap on.
Didn't mean it like that. Oh, my God, oh, my God.
Oh, why don't these two just have sex?
Didn't mean it like that.
Let's go to stock room. Store room.
I'm good.
I didn't mean it like that.
I know.
I'm talking... Oh, God.
How can you not mean it like that? Like, everybody slips up. Like, you know, I've been transitioning for, like, years. Like, over a decade. Like, nearly 16 years. This is your future if you're a newbie. You know, my dad still messes up. He still misgenders me occasionally. Still does the wrong pronoun. I don't like it. In fact, I actively hate it. It still gives me that feeling every time of like, when will you give me a break kind of thing. Everyone messes up and everybody deserves grace if you feel like they will give it back to you. But I think just saying you are a girl, you are a guy, you haven't got this, you have got this. It's like you're just trying to hurt somebody at that point, really, aren't you?
Hello, Zila.
It's got called a girl, big brother. It's been a while.
That's the thing, right? It's so absurd. Because it's like we live our lives in this way. We go through hell in order to do it. And we do. That's just a fact. You know, we put up with a lot of people telling us you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, you're hurting yourself, blah, blah, blah. We do it anyway. And 95% of the time, we live a pretty good life. Like, our life is substantially better for this decision to transition. And for 95% of the time, I go through life without any issues, honestly. Nowadays. Very, like, in terms of, like, you know, I've been doing this a long time. It's self-confidence is at an all-time high, believe it or not. So when this kind of stuff happens, when you meet somebody who's just an absolute fucking idiot and is clearly just trying to hurt you, there's like a certain level of absurdity to it where you just have to laugh, you know? And you just sort of can't believe it. You're just like, I just can't believe people like you exist, you know? But you have to also understand that this is worse here because this is like on mainstream public television in front of the whole world, essentially, potentially. And it's like, I don't know. I think I always really respect, particularly like trans people who go into the Big Brother house, because there's been a few of them over the years. And it's like, wow, you're gonna like, because when you do that, you become the voice of modern day, whoever, you know, whatever time of day it is, like whatever zeitgeist it is, you become the voice of trans representation, you know, whether you want to or not. And I think as a result of that, a lot of trans people that go into the Big Brother house, they do tend to be more passive, you know, more sort of like, more giving than they should be, I think. And again, I think Zayla is perfectly within his rights to start a huge fire in the Big Brother house that kills not just the housemates, but also the entire crew. Burns down the whole of ITV Studios, which is, you know, we've needed that for a while, actually. Not really, just joking.
Zila, take as long as you need.
Thank you.
Well, you get the idea with that one. It's not ideal, is it? This Caroline. Now, I didn't realise this. Apparently, Zila was outed when they came into the house by a friend in the house. I've never seen this. Let's watch this.
If I do go tonight, don't forget about me.
We will.
By week 7, right?
I'll see. Where's the transgender?
Oh, God. Did she just say that?
I'll see you.
Yes, not everyone knows.
What?
Not everyone knows that.
But not everyone knows.
They don't know that. Oh, for God's sake.
Well, I don't know.
They didn't know.
Well, I don't know.
That's crazy. That's crazy, isn't it? Like,
We'll talk about it afterwards.
so in this situation, see, Caroline thinks that she's, you know, the bigger person. This is before that happened. She's like, no, you can't do that. Not everybody knows. Which might lead you to think like, well, maybe she was maybe she did just make a mistake. Maybe she does have good intentions, but I don't know. This all feels very performative to me.
Love you.
Cheers. Yeah, that's true.
You came out.
Oh, yeah. I'm fine. I'm mad at all. I know she didn't mean to.
You know.
No, Mir, Cecil, I'm really sorry. I did not mean to say it.
See, the thing that's crazy about this is like, sometimes cis people, they get a bit giddy when they find out that like you're trans and that you, like, because you were open with them, they get a bit giddy and they're like, wow, I must be cool by association. I must be special because you told me this really personal thing. So there is like a good intention there, but the act of just shouting out someone is transgender is crazy. It's like, because again, I think the way I would feel is if that happened was like, wow, you're just like, even if you like me and I like you and we're like getting on, it's like, but really what that says to me is that that's what you see at first. That's the first thing in the front of your head when we talk. And you don't want that to be the case with anybody, that, you know, you want to be accepted as a fully rounded human being. And I would hope that anybody watching this podcast sees me as a fully rounded human being who would absolutely set this entire fucking Big Brother house on fire and lock all the fire doors and would pour petrol around everywhere, and I would make sure that, and I would go down in flames with everybody. I would want the British public to see that. Only joking.
Oh, no, you're okay.
I thought everyone knew.
I do not think it came from a place of that.
No, it really didn't.
I had a feeling you didn't know that people didn't know,
No, I didn't.
and therefore that's fine.
I'm one of them people, you need to tell me. Or
See, what you're looking at here is sort of like a really poignant part of the trans experience. When you're not dealing with out and out hatred and freaks, you're also trying to put out little fires among, you know, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, well-intentioned cis people who just do not have the most basic care or time. Like, they just don't put in the effort to know enough, basically. And I feel like we're at a point now where you can't even really say that, because, and I don't mean that as in like, oh, you get cancelled or whatever, that's ridiculous. What I mean is that, like, it used to be that we were a bit more like, oh, here's some resources. You could get to learn a little bit more about being trans. Oh, maybe it'd be good if we had a bit more trans representation in films and TV. Like, oh, maybe it's a good thing that people learn a bit more about trans people. But that got twisted into like, no, you're trying to infiltrate our schools and convert our children and mutilate them. And it's like, and then we had to step back like 100 paces and just be like, okay, just don't kill us. All right, just try not to kill us. Let's calm down. So now you can't even ask for basic dignity or respect. You just have to put up with it, which I think, you know, and I'm not blaming Zayla for this, but like, being this passive about it, I mean, again, it shows that he's like very generous and kind-hearted, but the fair thing, the right thing, the sort of just thing would have been to burn down the entire Big Brother house.
Oh, no one knows.
No, I you know, I get it, because I've been in this situation before where I've said things.
The reason why I'm apologising, you know, is because I didn't want to apologise in front of everybody. I'm saying, no, because I didn't know if everybody heard me then. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
You're good, Jenny.
But I genuinely, I would not do that to anyone. I didn't mean it. Like, it was Caroline was like, Jenny, and I was like, what? So I didn't mean it. It was not meant for my bad place at all. No, but I genuinely didn't mean it. I'm really sorry if I offended you in any way. I didn't mean to.
No, I know you didn't. Give me a cuddle.
Again,
No.
I'm scared of your makeup. No, to be fair, I'm wearing black actually. Really
No, well, this is it. But no, I'm glad you're still here.
If I do go to...
Also, in Big Brother, they always want to solve their problems by having a little cuddle, which is lovely, but sometimes fire does more of the talking. Do you know what I mean? And speaking of fire, what better time to put on my flame retardant jacket? It does look a little bit like that, doesn't it? Because, you know what? I could sit here talking about Big Brother all day, but I've got a dinner ready for me and I'm hungry, and, you know, I don't want to talk about it all day. So that was your members episode for today. I hope you liked it. Come back on Sunday where there'll be another episode, like a public episode. That'd be nice, won't it? And yeah, if you put out the if you gave me your address for the mailing list, you'll be getting the mail out soon. The zine with the stickers. I was hoping I could have got through a whole episode without sneezing, and I came so close. But then I sneezed. So I've let myself down. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you so much for being a member or a patron. I really appreciate it. But have a lovely evening. Enjoy the rest of it. And yeah, that was Big Brother. There was something else I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about Sophie Ellis-Bextor, because she put out a really great statement, I thought, about the current state of sort of like transphobia in the UK. And I love Sophie Ellis-Bextor, and I think it's great that she's speaking out about it. But we'll go into that maybe on Sunday a little bit. I've got a good episode planned for Sunday. And I'm planning the big Halloween special as well, which is coming up. Can you guess when? Yeah, on Halloween. It's gonna go live on Halloween night, and that's gonna be an extra special long episode. Might even have some guests. Might be a costume. I don't know yet. I haven't decided.